Let's go to Mackenzie now in Jacksonville, Florida. Mackenzie, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hey, how are you?
I am living the dream, Mackenzie. What's going on?
So I have a question about interview confidence.
Okay.
Currently, I'm a home health aide, and I have experience in restaurant industry, but I have applied for a couple positions as a customer service telephone representative. And I know I have transferable skills, but I'm not necessarily confident in it since I haven't been in that specific area of customer service.
Uh-huh.
So I was wondering if you had any tips on handling the interview confidently.
Yeah. When is the interview?
Well, I have one of those video answer interviews, the kind where you don't actually talk to the people directly.
Yeah.
I have one of those, and then I have two other applications that are still in recruiter review. But I've already had 2 or 3 interviews, and it seemed like I struggled on the questions about how are you a good fit for this job.
Oh, okay, good. Do you remember what you said when you got asked those questions?
Well, my answer is normally, well, I'm a good listener and I'm a good problem solver. But as for relevant experience, I feel like I don't really have much.
Okay, hold on.
And I feel like it's mainly confidence, but
I think, it's 100% confidence. And Mackenzie, this is going to be fun. Okay. So, let me make sure I understand something. This is a telephone customer service job. So you'll be working for a company and you would be dealing with customer problems over the phone.
Yes.
Okay, great. So couple questions. If you were trained, and you're going to be trained in how to deal with all these things, are you confident in your abilities to be a good student and truly learn the training and really understand how you would walk people through serving them? How confident are you in your ability to be diligent and learn the process?
Very.
Oh, good. So let's call that a 10. Very nice. Second question. As a home health aide and as a person with a lot of experience in the restaurant industry, how confident are you that your experience in taking care of people, whether it be food or their health needs, how confident are you that that experience will make you a super customer service rep over the phone?
So I feel like since I have more in-person experience than over the telephone experience, I'm not too confident in that.
Okay, I want to dive into that. What is the difference between, what were you in the restaurant? What specific positions did you hold in the restaurant industry?
So I was a cashier and also helped plate and take things out to the table and stuff.
Okay, right. But you're very familiar with waiters and you've been to many restaurants where someone has served you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
My point is, when somebody calls up and they've got a challenge, just like they had a challenge in the restaurant, what did you do? What did you do when you were presented with customer challenges in the restaurant industry? What did you do?
I listened to their problem and made sure that I understood them well and could help alleviate whatever issue they were having.
Okay, great. So what's the difference between a person sharing those things with you in person and over the phone? What's the difference?
There's not much.
Okay. Get my point?
Yeah.
There's no difference. There's no difference. The one thing that you have in person that you won't have on the phone is their facial expressions. But you're going to hear their emotions as they talk. Do you feel like you can discern whether a person is worried, angry?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, then. So there's no disadvantage there. Same thing with home health aide. You taking care of that patient at home, there's nothing fundamentally different than you taking care of a person over the phone. They both have needs. They both have emotions attached to those needs, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Are you good at understanding the emotions attached to the need?
Yes.
Listen to the confidence you just said that. You said, yes. Did you hear that, Mackenzie?
Yeah.
Did you feel it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you're smiling right now on the other end of the phone, aren't you?
Yeah.
How big of a smile is it, just for those listening?
Pretty frickin'.
Pretty freaking big. I love it. Now, wait a second, Mackenzie. How did I know that you were smiling on the other end of the phone?
Because you can hear it.
And now our phone call is done, Mackenzie, because you, my friend, have all the confidence you need. You know you can do this. So the next time you do the interview, I want you to speak with the confidence that you would if you were interviewing for a position in home health aid. I want you to speak with the confidence that you would speak with if you were interviewing for a position in a restaurant. You know why? Because Mackenzie, you got this. You're great at taking care of people, aren't you?
Yeah.
There we go. And that is all Mackenzie needs to hear. Now, quick little nugget here for all of you out there that are just like Mackenzie, and I've been there. Oh my gosh, Mackenzie, I could tell you story after story after story of me getting myself into some small broadcasting situations, and I thought I was going to throw up before we went live. Do you know why I almost threw up? Because I had never done the broadcasting things. Joe, I'll just tell you this. I want everybody to hear this. I know what Mackenzie's feeling. Joe, the first time I did radio, it was a Saturday. I think it was January 7th, 2012, if memory serves.
Yes.
And Joe, I had been on stages, 12,000 people in the arena. I had done live interviews with celebrities in front of 12,000 people. Okay? I had hosted a simulcast that was broadcast to 90,000 people. So I was not a true newcomer to performing. But let me tell you folks what I had never done before. I had never hosted a live radio show. And I was freaking out. So nervous, I could barely think straight. And I'll never forget looking across at Joe when the music started and I was about ready to host the very first show, the Ken Coleman Show. My heart was going, he was freaking out and I was going, what am I doing right now? Please, God, let me pass out so that I have a viable excuse for why I can't do this show.
Now, it wasn't that bad. You were good for your first time.
Well, Joe, you're being kind, but you're not catching it. I was a nervous wreck.
But that was all on the inside. On
Well,
the outside, you were
saying-
cool as a cucumber.
I'm saying I understand Mackenzie and everybody else out there
I'm with you.
who's doing a job interview and you're in this weird situation where you've got to answer questions from a computer. So they're not even a person on the other end looking at them. It's just, Mackenzie, tell us why you are a good fit for this job. And she's talking to a camera. And I get it. Here's my point. You've got to walk through what we just did there and kind of just see that I do have what it takes. And here's the deal. Joe's being very kind. My first radio show was, in my mind, abysmal. However, I didn't choke, I didn't faint, and I got through it. And the only way I got through it was I realized that I had been live on a stage before. And while radio was very different, I had all these monitors in front of me and clocks and Joe looking at me, and this guy's a veteran and he's been doing radio for 25 years and all the stuff that looking at me, I realized that, look, I've done this before. I know I can get through this, even though I feel like I'm going to throw up on the microphone. Okay? This is real. I get it, folks. I get it. And here's the deal. The steps I've taught on the show, they come from my own experience. So real quick on this, and we'll get to the chat room. It's really important that you get this. When you're overcome with fear and doubt, you got to know that fear and doubt are a liar. There's 3 steps. Number 1, you got to say or write out what your fear is. And I remember looking at Joe going, Joe, I'm scared out of my mind. And Joe's like, you got this. We trained. We walked through it. I'm going to get you through it. You're going to be fine. So I told Joe that I was afraid I was going to melt down and ruin radio forever. And so that's the lie. So Joe helped me deconstruct it. You're going to be fine. You're going to get through it. We trained. I'm going to get you through it. So that's deconstructing it. It's going to be okay. And then I was able to focus on, Joe says I'm going to be able to get through it. So my focus went from fear of melting down to I'm going to get through it. And that's enough sometimes. That's enough.